Can you tell us about your better solutions for business and economy?
Thank you. The CHP Canada has a policy that would really help the long-term financial stability of our country. The first thing that we would address is the national debt. The national debt right now stands at $561 billion. The past year our government spent $56 billion that it did not have. So we are in debt to the average working person of about $50,000 per person. How do we get rid of that debt? We would legislate to not allow any deficit budgets to be passed or approved in the House of Commons. And then we would have a very aggressive program that pay back this national debt as if it was a mortgage over a set number of years. Whether it be 20 years or 15, that would be determined. But we would simply make a policy and implement a repayment plan and get this off the noose of our children and grandchildren. We also believe in smaller government, less government, and we would impose a system of what we would call fair tax. And this fair tax works like this. We would eliminate the federal income tax gradually and then completely, and replace it by simply increasing the goods and services tax that the federal government would collect on purchases. When you earn money, it's your money. When you spend money, it's your decision to spend money. And when you spend money, you're going to be taxed on that money you spend to support our federal government. So if you want to buy a fancy car that costs $60,000, you'll be paying between 15 and 20% GST on that car. If you want to buy a little low economy car for $15,000, you'll be still paying the same GST rate, but the cost to you is much less. So in a sense, it does tax the rich more heavily, and those who want to spend money more heavily. There would be a prebate of whatever would be the poverty line, and below that the poverty line, you would not be paying this fair tax. On the issue of corporate tax, there's a lot of debate. Right now it's around 16%. And the numbers that I read very clearly show that for every 1% you reduce the corporate tax, you increase the GDP by 4%. Hence, we need to look very carefully at not discouraging corporations from doing business in Canada. And hence, I believe we should keep the corporate tax at the present rate or even lower it, but definitely not increase it. The CHP has a strategy for helping the rural economies, like Simcoe Grey, by providing Bank of Canada funding at interest-free money from the Bank of Canada, which doesn't cost you as taxpayer any money, and this would be used to do improving infrastructure, whether it's roads or bridges, sewage treatment plants, hospitals, schools. These could be built with borrowed money from the Bank of Canada, and once it's repaid, that money could be used for another project, for infrastructure development. This again would improve and encourage the economy and make it stronger as we especially deal with a lot of aging, frail infrastructure in our rural communities that need to be improved. Just a few of the things that we would do to help Canada have a thriving economy.
Okay. Thank you.